Now, we have completed the different organs of speech. We are moving on to the classification of speech sounds. You know that there are 44 speech sounds in received pronunciation. They are classified into vowels and consonants. The total number of vowels is 20. The total number of consonants is 24. And you also know that vowels can further be classified into pure vowels and diphthongs. Okay, 12 pure vowels and 8 diphthongs. That is the basic thing. Now, since you are learning linguistics and phonetics as part of your main, there are certain other things also which you should learn. Okay, so we are going to take a look at what exactly are vowels. Which kind of sounds do we call vowels? Actually, vowels are those sounds during the articulation of which the air is not blocked in any part of the oral cavity. Listen once again. The vowels are those sounds during the articulation of which air is not blocked in the oral cavity. So once air moves into the oral cavity from the vocal cords, it escapes freely through the oral cavity without any block or any audible friction. Okay, such kind of sounds are called vowels. So I'll read the definition here. Vowels are those sounds during the articulation of which air escapes through the mouth freely and continuously without any block or audible frictional noise. During the articulation of a vowel, the tongue is raised towards the roof of the mouth only up to a certain limit. It is raised towards the roof of the mouth in such a way that there is enough space between the tongue and the roof of the mouth for air to escape freely. So this is how you define the production of a vowel. During the production of a vowel, the tongue is raised towards the hard palate, but the tongue doesn't quite touch the hard palate at any point. It doesn't cause any block or friction. The air has to escape between the tongue and the hard palate very freely without causing any friction, and it is that kind of a sound that is called a vowel. And there is another word a term which you should be familiar with, that is the vowel limit. What do you mean by the vowel limit? The highest level up to which the tongue can be raised and a sound produced without any frictional noise is called the vowel limit. So the tongue gets raised to a certain level. If you raise your tongue beyond that level, it touches the hard palate and friction is produced. Okay. So the highest limit up to which the tongue can be raised and a sound produced without any audible frictional noise is called the vowel limit. I would also like to add one point in the description of vowels. The vowels are voiced sounds. You must not confuse friction in the oral cavity with friction in the vocal cords. Okay, we talked about friction in the vocal cords while discussing the phonatory system. So vowels are those sounds in which there is no friction in the oral cavity. But vowels, since they are voiced sounds, they come with a vibration in the vocal cords. They are voiced sounds. During the articulation of vowels, air does not escape freely through the vocal cords. The vocal cords, the lip-like structures, are close together. Air comes through the vocal cords with the friction, that is a vibration. But there is no audible friction because there is no block in the oral cavity. Such kind of sounds are called vowels. So you must not get confused while describing vowels. During the production of vowels, there is vibration in the vocal cords, but there is no friction in the mouth or the oral cavity. So that is how you technically describe a vowel. So you are already familiar with some of the vowels in English. Sounds like E, A, O, U, etc. are vowels. So you can just try pronouncing all these sounds and find out whether in any of these sounds your tongue touches any part of your the roof of the mouth. Okay, so you can see that, you can verify that the tongue never touches the roof of the mouth during the production of a vowel sound. I would like to conclude this session by mentioning the classification of vowels. I'm not going to completely explain the classification of vowels in this session, but I would just like to give you an introduction on that. Vowels are classified based on 3 different criteria. Of course, you have pure vowels and diphthongs. That's a different thing. As far as articulation is concerned, you have a different set of classification for vowels. Vowels are basically classified according to 3 different criteria. The first criterion is the position of your lips while articulating a vowel. The second criterion, the part of the tongue that is used in the articulation of a vowel. And the third criterion is the height up to which your tongue gets raised during the articulation of a vowel. So these are the 3 different criteria. Once again, the position of your lips during the articulation of a vowel, the part of the tongue that is raised during the articulation of a vowel, the height up to which the tongue is raised during the articulation of a vowel. So I would like to explain only the first criterion today. The rest of it we'll do in the next class. According to the position of lips during the articulation of vowels, vowels may be classified into rounded vowels and unrounded vowels. So you can guess the explanation from the name itself. Rounded vowels are those vowels during the articulation of which your lips are in a rounded position. For example, O, U, etc. are sounds. When we articulate these sounds, we have our lips in a rounded position. They are called rounded vowels. The unrounded vowels are those vowels during the articulation of which the lips are not in a rounded position. For example, E, A, etc. are unrounded vowels. So with that simple classification of vowels based on the position of lips, we are concluding this session. And along with this session, I am giving you some simple notes. The speciality is that these are the notes from Dr. V. Shyamala's textbook. They are very simple and reliable. So I would advise you to include the points from these notes definitely in your exam preparation. The notes are simple and reliable. Okay, thank you. If you have any doubts, please post them. You can also post your feedback. Thank you for listening. See you in the next class.